Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conclusion of today's episode. Roll20 presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist. You're getting to know your neighbors. So when we return,
Smitty.
yeah, smoke and steam billow from the many windows around this smallish, kind of squat stone square building, and outside of it. There is a sign that says steam and steel, and it has an image of a sword being thrust into a pot of water and steam forming the letters of the word steam and steel.
I look over at 8 and I say, looks like your kind of place.
It's
Joe gives you a look like, I like weapons too.
All right. It also, my dear friend Jewel, looks like your kind of place. There. Are you satisfied? Happy now?
It's not
Good,
my
yes.
kind of place.
Lead the way then, oh cat of the walk.
He like struts in.
I'm gonna do it. Okay. So
And shoves up all her fur.
okay, yeah. So you open up the door. Yeah, it's hot in here. You can see that there are
strut.
there are racks of finished weapons on one side, suits of chainmail and plate armor on the other. There is a desk at the back, and in a back area you hear clang of someone hammering on a forge.
how quaint. I mean, if you're used to places that can build me, it's like a baby's place. So
Yeah, exactly. The places where Warforged come from are just like giant, horrible machine factories.
Yeah.
That engineer war devices.
Rin does not look like she's enjoying the heat of this place at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Trying desperately to keep her hair like nice in this air.
Yep.
if the reaction of the apothecary is anything to go by, I may become a spectacle again. So
Good.
perhaps I will wait until you have made your introductions.
Oh, but you make such a good distraction.
Oh, were you going to obtain an item
No, it's
or
just
money?
people
Fine.
don't pay attention to you when they're paying attention to something else, and it's a lot easier to learn a lot of stuff about places when they're not paying attention to you.
Fine. And then I makes their way forwards.
First things first. Hello? Anyone in?
So you shout that, and then you hear a man's voice say, "Embrick, we have customers." And then from the other side of the shop, from in the back where the forge is, you hear someone say, "Well, you help them. I'm at the forge." And there's a pause, and it's like, "Well, I'm busy too. You do it."
I love these guys.
And then there's like, you hear another like clang, and then thunk. And then you hear, Fine. I will finish the sword later. When the steel is cold, I will start all over again. And from the back,
no, I don't want to ruin his sword.
the door slams open, and you see wearing a big heavy apron, standing 6 feet tall with bright red, like ruby red skin, eyes glowing like embers, and hair that seems to be writhing like a dancing flame, with huge fucking muscly arms. You see the smith come in, and he has like a chin strap beard, and he walks in, and he's still holding the hammer, and he storms up to the desk, and then he sets the hammer down, and he says, "Hello, customers. How can I help you?"
Yes. Well, pleasure to meet you, first of all.
Is his hair on fire?
It's not on fire, but it's like bright. It's like orange, and not
okay.
hairdo orange, but like, and it's like it moves slightly when he stands still.
I'm captivated.
We have just obtained the deed for Troll Skull Manor. Just moved in there.
What? Tell me another one.
No, very. We seriously.
Oh, I am so sorry. I mean that I laughed, not that you live in that garbage dump. I mean, I'm sorry I called it a garbage dump. It's fine.
No, you're right. It's full of trash, but I found some very interesting things in there.
It is a little bit of a fixer-upper, but we just wanted to make sure that we had introduced ourselves to our new neighbors.
And he smiles and he says, "Well, that's different." And he like takes his apron off and he throws it on the floor, and it makes a loud like thumping sound. And you hear from the other room, you hear, "Did you just throw your apron on the floor?" And he looks at you and he's like, "No." And from the other room, I know the sound. And then the side door opens, and you see a shorter, more like willowy figure enter. He is in every way that the smith is like red and orange. This guy is blue. He has deep blue skin. His eyes are like a pale green. He's dressed in it looks like they are like priest's robes, but they don't have any sleeves. And he has on both arms like tattoos of like water patterns. He has a holy symbol around his neck that looks like a circle of trees with like a waterfall behind them. And he has a turban like wrapped around his head. And when he comes in, he looks at the smith, and then he looks on the floor, and he looks back at the smith, and he says, "You would lie to me here in my own home in front of our customers. I cannot believe you. When my mother said I could not marry you, it was not because you are a fire genasi and I am a water genasi, and we come from different worlds. It is because you are a slob." And he storms out, and Embrick is like, "Avi, no, wait." And he looks at you and he says, "Please, I am so sorry I have to go." When he's like this, I can't. And he runs off after him, and they both just leave the room.
Oh no!
They just leave.
We'll come.
You can hear them. You can hear them arguing in Primordial in the other room.
I look to the other two. I'm like, they're busy. They're later, I think.
Oh,
Yes.
I wonder. Distractedly trails off.
I don't know if you caught the part about married, but I think they're
Well, that's
already taken.
you know that some people have open marriages, right?
When Rin says the word taken, Jules like, no,
I wasn't gonna take it.
I didn't. All right. Well, I guess on to the next place.
Yeah, so you go to the door, and you can hear them shouting. And when you wanna just leave?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
So when you open the door, it creaks slightly, and both of them stop arguing. Like there's just sudden silence. And Avi, the water genasi, you see him. He appears out of the doorway, and he's smiling, and he says, "Wait, where are you going? We haven't been introduced." And he kind of like slides over to you.
Well, you just seemed like you might be a little.
Oh, no.
Taken off with
Don't worry about that. We have had that argument 100 times. My husband Embrick is a slob, a terrible slob, a pig, really. It's not his fault. It's how he was raised. He cannot help it. And then you hear Embrick, and he's like, "Husband, I'm standing right here." And Avi turns and looks at him, and he says something in Primordial, and then Embrick just kind of glowers, and Avi turns back to you, and he says, "So, Embrick tells me you are our new neighbors. Welcome to the neighborhood. Have you met everyone yet? I could introduce you if I wasn't so busy cleaning up after my slob husband."
I'm Makaria Rada, an acolyte of Kellenvor. I've never. Have
And
I seen-
Avi looks you up and down, and he says, "How nice, a priest." And who are you? And he turns to Rin.
And I offer my hand out,
Mhm.
and I say, Rin Stillwater.
Okay, yeah, he shakes your hand, and his hand is like cool and soft, like an ocean breeze.
Oh.
And he says, "Stillwater, I like it.
Mm.
I am
And
Avi."
like, you know, Avi's been talking about people being messy and like slobbish. Rin is the exact opposite. of
Right?
slobbish.
Do you say
Rin is
something? Or are you like, "Oh, I
so
know what it's
put
like"?
together.
Or
And yeah, there's a little like shared look between them as Jewel does something in the background, whatever it is.
You'll knock something over.
Yeah.
And so Avi turns to you, Jewel, and is like, "Oh, don't worry about that. I'll add it to my list of things to clean up
She's like trying to
later
put it back.
with all the spare time that I have just laying about."
Well, actually, I might be able to help you with that.
And he puts his hand up and he's like, "Just a moment. And who is this handsome oak tree of a man?" And he looks you up and down, 8, and he says,
This is everybody ignores Makaria for 8.
and he looks you up and down, and he's like, "Surely you don't have to wear that armor in here. You're safe, darling. It's lovely, fine craftsmanship." And Emmerich mutters something, and Avi rolls his eyes and looks over his shoulder, and he's like, "He's sensitive."
I
love these two.
I don't. It is part of me.
And he looks, kind of squints at you, and Emmerich says, from the other side of the room, it's like, "Avi, it's a construct. Leave it alone."
I am not a construct.
And Emmerich puts his,
Well, weren't
puts his
you
hands up,
constructed?
and he says, "I meant no offense by it. Clearly, whatever made you did so with skilled hands. Whatever my thirsty husband might think, you are what you are. I can see there is nothing inside of you. This," and he gestures at you, and he's walked over to take a look at you, and he says, "This is fine work."
Thank you. Most modifications I made myself.
And Emmerich smiles, and he says, "I would love to hear more about it." And Avi slaps him, like just smacks him across the back of the head, like, "Now who's thirsty? You will leave the mechanical man alone." And Emmerich is like, and like backs away, like, "Sorry," and it goes back and looks apologetically at everyone, like he's just apologizing for being in the room at all, like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry I exist," and like goes to stand at the back of the room until called for. So Avi turns back and he says, "Well, now that that's over and done with."
I was saying, if you need some help tidying your place, keeping it neat, as it were, not that I think you do, because it seems you do a great job.
I would neither subject you to the horrors of the mess of my home, nor would I allow anyone else to see my shame. It is my burden to bear.
All that I am saying, Avi, is that it would not even be me, just my unseen servant, Alistair.
Mother of the Grove, if we could afford such a thing. But no. Emmerich insists we sell everything in the shop for a mere pittance of what it could be sold for. He believes that it is art. I would like to live in a bigger house. If we are ever going to have children, they're going to need space. And Emmerich grumbles, and Avi turns to him like, "We are not having this argument again, even though I brought it up." And Emmerich is like, "It's, you don't," and then they start like shouting at each other in Primordial again.
Yeah, I would pick up. Do they have because it's normally quite easy to tell what items are magical by the level of craftsmanship that is required to make something magic in the first place.
You can make a perception check.
Yeah, because I want to kind of scope out and also defuse the situation at the same time. Uh,
We have a very large house.
Okay, so it doesn't look like anything out here is magic. No, it's all very well crafted, but it's not to the degree to which you would choose it.
Makaria just
so yeah, I think it's
Just like after a few moments of silence, just like
Yeah. Okay. And 8, do you wanna say something?
Yeah. I think it is blunt and without tact. Well, this is very nice. Do you carry anything more enchanted, stronger protection? I have baseline equipment.
Embrick shakes his head and he says, I am proud of my work. The weapons that I craft, they are strong and sharp, but we have no skill in enchanting. My husband crafts the armor that you see, though I think looking at you, it would not help. If you are looking for enchanted items, I know that Fala sells potions, and perhaps Rishal would know. You have seen his shop with books.
Yes, we stopped by.
And he nods and he says, "My common is not so good. I do not spend much time there, but I understand." And he looks at Avi, and Avi's like nodding, like it's okay, like talk to our new friends. And Embrick, he says, "But it has been a pleasure to speak with you."
The real question is, other than arms and armor, do you craft things that we could use to refurbish the manor? It is in some disrepair. Braces, chairs,
hinges.
tables.
Avi says, "Well, if you're looking for chairs and tables, Tally is a better choice than we will be. But you could commission us to make you anything you need out of metal. We're used to armor and weapons. These are dangerous times, and it's what sells. Don't
I
judge
agree.
us."
No, I carry a sword myself. Like
And Avi looks at it and is like, "I see. I suppose you could call that a sword if you wanted to."
it's a very nice sword. I never draw it, but it's very.
If I had eyes and eyebrows, I would have given you that same look when we first met. Imagine
I have a mace. It's somewhere. I don't know where.
Well, if you were looking to upgrade your serviceable equipment, we would be more than happy to help. Please, browse around. Take a look.
You take commissions?
Yes. Yes.
I would rather know if I were to look into someone enchanting gear in the future. We had a good baseline.
Yes, if you have some special project in mind, come and let us know.
Very good.
And maybe when the house is fixed up, we can invite you for dinner. Or something.
Drink.
Yes. I'm sure that would be lovely. Well, this has been nice. So, thank you for coming.
Yes, we'll let you get back to your work. Thank you for indulging our introductions.
And and Embrick smiles and says, "If you want more weapons, come back." And then just grabs his hammer and goes into the back room. And Avi gives you a little wave. It's like, "Thank you."
And I guess we leave.
Okay. Yeah. And you can go out the back. There's 2 like ways through. And so Avi shows you to the back door, which leads you out into the alley. and to the last location on your.
This was the
Right.
carpentry place.
Yeah. So this shop here, there are two entrances. One at the front, one at the back. But the one at the front is that like actual front, the front room. And yeah, as chat pointed out, if we had stayed in that room, Embrick didn't pick up his apron on the way out, and so the last scene would be Avi picking it up and following Embrick and being like, "I told you if you did this one more time," and then the two of them bursting into an argument again.
Oh man.
So the last stop on your little tour of Troll Skull Alley is a small shop, and outside there is a wooden sign that is bare except for a large bent nail sticking out of it. So the sign is just a piece of wood with a nail stuck in it that's like bent.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I guess we go in.
Okay.
Enter.
All right. Okay. So you walk in and the place smells like cedar shavings. Like you can smell that like woody, like kind of earthy smell of wood. There is a wall. The front room is like a display room, and so there's tons of like ornate looking wooden furniture cut in a like modernist elven like style. So it's like modern, but it's got some like elven looking embellishments. Tables, a set of beautiful like kitchen chairs, all on one side. On the other side, there are bows and crossbows, all like laid out on a pegs on a board. And then behind the counter, there are beautiful wooden shields, all carved in different looking designs. And at the counter, he looks up when you come in. There is a man. He is like in his early 30s, probably. He has black hair that in the light reflects a bit blue. And it's braided kind of like on top of his head to keep it away from his work because he's leaned over, and he's whittling something right now. He's woodworking with a knife. He's wearing a simple like tunic or blouse with the sleeves rolled up and like pinned. And on one arm he has like an elvish like leaf and vine like tattoo. And he has slightly pointed ears and sideburns, like black like sideburns. And when you come in, he looks up and he puts a hand up and he says, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Welcome to the Bent Nail.
Thank you. We're just doing the rounds in the neighborhood, so to speak. We've recently moved into Troll Skull Manor and are doing our very best to re-equip the place.
Troll Skull, was it? So they finally sold the place. Your friends of Volos.
That's one way to describe how we acquired it, yes.
And he cocks an eyebrow at you, and he looks kind of like squints through one silver eye, and he sets his tools down. He says, well, that sounds like an interesting story.
Volo Otis.
I don't tell stories, and then she just like hides behind 8.
Well, you see, we found Volo's friend, who is an annoying idiot.
You're talking about Floon. Oh,
yes.
I've met him.
You also think he's an idiot? We have that in common.
I wouldn't say that out loud without a few drinks in me first.
Anyway, so we saved him. I saved him. And then we brought him back to Volo, and Volo gave us a house here next to you, next to where you are.
And he nods, and he says, I would have believed you if you told me that you got that house because you lost a bet. That place is falling down. Shoddy workmanship all the way through. There's some good timber in there, but
you could come over and fix it.
And he's like, is that why you're here? That's a big project.
It is certainly one of the reasons that I would happily talk to you business-wise about the property because it does need renovation.
Right,
But
right. Of
we are
course.
currently a little short on the actual coin to do so. You know.
He
how
nods
it
and he says, "Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I can't work on speculation. I learned that
No,
lesson
and-
more than once. Let me
and-
tell you, if somebody tells you that they're a harper and that you're building them a boat so that they can fight evil, get them to pay you first."
Yeah, it's almost like when someone asks you to rescue their friend, get them to pay you first rather than give you a house that's falling. And she starts just like mumbling behind
No,
you and then looking around.
Never mind that. Yes, no, of course, I wouldn't ask you to work on speculation, but just doing the introductions, making sure that people know that we are there and that we know our neighbors.
Yeah, we're just over there.
He
I swear to God, I give you this look that is like every fucking person you've ever met. Like every goddamn person. You don't have a single person you can like keep it in your pants for. This is only like a tiny eye language PC. Like
yeah, Macaria
is an annoyed glance and nothing further.
I have to tell you, you may have misread the title of your god. He's the Lord of Bones.
Oh,
The Lord of Bones.
right. My bad.
Bones. Just so you know. If you want to change your character now, you can, now that you know the truth. So he says to I mean, he's addressing Rin and Macaria, and in Elvish he says, it's nice not to be the only one of us in the neighborhood. He says it in Elvish.
I suppose. I reply in Elvish.
And then he switches to common and he says, I tried making friends with, and he looks and he says, Lefilier, Fala, lives in the greenhouse. They
Yes,
weren't having any of it. Typical
Really?
arrogance. I swear.
Rin nods understandingly, as if she too has had elf spurning in her past at some point.
Well, we are very friendly, and we live. I'm Macaria Rada, an acolyte of.
And he smiles and laughs. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just got so excited. New faces. And he you can see him kind of like he's practiced this. And he says, Talisol Venelar Fellbranch, at your service. You can blame my mother for that. I got the elven ears, but the human tongue. Please call me Tally."
Tally.
And he
Sure.
nods. Much easier to say.
Yes. So Rin was talking about furniture, furnishing. We could pay for over time, a bit at a time.
Jewel comes up behind her. I think Macaria needs a bed, preferably a double bed. She just walks away.
Jewel, get Macaria a bed for sex. So he nods.
She awkwardly winks.
Yeah,
while she
he
does
nods
it.
and he says, "Yup. A bed's a good thing for anyone to have for
Useful.
sleeping in.
Yeah.
I have one myself. I have
Do
for many
you?
years. Yes, it's very useful. When you get tired, good place to lay down. Tables also good. Chairs too. Now, are you looking to simply live in the place, or are we open in the old tavern?"
Getting it furnished so that we can live comfortably first is probably best.
It's the most disappointing thing. I drank there once or twice. Love the neighborhood. Didn't always live here. I was visiting, and then it closed down mysteriously.
Did you know the bartender, Macaria, on a totally different track now?
And he nods. Liff, one of ours, actually.
What did Liff look like?
Bit taller than me.
Aw.
Part wood elf, I think. Mustache.
Yes.
Looked like a bartender. To be honest,
That's the ghost. That's the ghost that's in the tavern. That's the one.
So when you say it closed mysteriously, do you mean? And then she just makes that like someone done got murdered.
and
Like,
he says he kind of widens his eyes and he's like, I don't know, maybe.
No, that's definitely what the mustache and the half that gave it away. Definitely, Liff is the ghost in the tavern.
I was going.
I saw him with my own eyes.
I was going to offer to do a bit of a walk around and just give you a quote on furnishings, but if you have a ghost,
He's not. I mean, he's fine.
he was an asshole.
right. More so. So I think it is nice meeting you, but let me know when there's no ghost, and then
Wait, are
What's
you
wrong with
afraid of ghosts? She gets really close to his face.
well, aren't you?
No, they're ghosts. What are they gonna do? Haunt me?
Yeah, quite.
I am.
Go at talks. Hello there.
Hello. I am scared of.
Wait, you're scared of ghosts, 8?
Existentially, they are the antithesis of what I am in a sense.
I didn't know that.
What I will say, Tally, is that I would certainly appreciate if you could give us some sort of assessment as to whether or not the place would be possible to renovate at the very least. Ghost-wise...
Oh, I'll keep an eye on Liff.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Makaria can handle him while we...
What would the risk of knocking down an interior wall be?
I did destroy one of them.
He hasn't been there. You should come. We did some.
No, I'm not an architect. I can't talk to you about the structural capability of your new home, but I can tell you how much furniture you'll need if you want to run a bar.
That is what I'm hoping.
What about?
So you get rid of the spirit, and then come back and tell me, and then I'll come and visit.
What about the furniture for not the bar?
Well, sure, that too. As long as you don't have more than one ghost. If the bar ghost and the upstairs ghost are 2 ghosts, then you'll have to. You can see he's like sweating a little bit.
There is a single ghost.
There was the barkeeping ghost and the ghost that was cleaning the fireplace.
That was my unseen servant, not a ghost.
It sounds to me like you don't need furniture, but some priests. There's a temple to Ilmater.
Excuse me, Ilmater is not required. I'm right here.
Here's
nudges. Oh yeah.
No,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say Jewel like nudges Makaria and is like, if you want him to come over, you have to get rid of the ghost.
Do I have to get rid of the ghost?
Here is my thought. Because everyone else seems to just be talking about what we shouldn't do and giving away things we didn't have to talk about, and now I have another problem to solve. Great. Here is my thought. The ghost is a bartender. Yes, that is what we have established.
Yes, he's the bartender.
I am sure that he is probably lurking around, hoping that the bar might reopen.
Maybe we could have a bar with a ghost bartender.
What I am thinking, while everyone else screws everything up, is if you could come over and just look. That may even make the ghost a little more happy about the situation, knowing that we are working towards a solution rather than having an angry ghost or a frustrated ghost or a ghost that wants us to go away. The ghost might actually think we're doing the right thing by it.
I had a drink with him yesterday. He's fine.
It's a drinking ghost.
He was a bartender.
What happens when ghosts drink things?
Well, I was the one that was drinking, actually. He wasn't drinking.
Probably be the same as if you were drinking something.
So I've got a chair needs working on. So it was lovely meeting you.
We could use some chairs.
And he he aggressively nods like, thank you for coming. I have to go now. Please leave.
My name is 8. I did not introduce myself.
Right. Good. Nice to meet you.
All right, everyone, let's go.
All right. Well, it was nice to meet you until you got scared.
Story of your life.
Yes, actually.
Okay. So you're gonna head back to your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you've kind of made the circle. All right. So you leave your house, you come out into the street here, and you come around the corner, and standing on your porch, there are a half dozen men and women in black clothes.
What?
They have swords. They're not drawn, but they're obviously waiting for you. And as you come around the corner, one of them turns, and you see a snake tattoo peeking out of his tunic. And he looks at you, and he sneers, and you see a gold tooth in his mouth, and he says, "That's them." And the group turns to look at you, and then we roll credits. And that's it. That's it for today's episode. So we'll find out what these black cloaked goons are doing on your doorstep
Dying.
next time. I mean, yes, probably, if it comes to that, definitely that thing. So there you go. This is a good
Find
episode.
out if Makaria allows anyone to touch her.
Now you know. Now you know all the people in your neighborhood. You got whoever the hell Vincent. You have Rishal the Page Turner was the first one you met, and then Mr. Trench.
Oh, he's a private detective. It's a private eye because it's an eye.
Mr. Trench, yeah, with his weird eye sign. Fala Lefelier, the botanist. Embrick and Avi, the steam and steel, and then Talisolvenar Fellbranch, or Tally, who's scared of ghosts. So
Why?
Also,
because ghosts are fucking terrifying.
Corpses from Makaria.
Yeah, we should get some corpses.
Yeah.
I don't really
Why
need
are
them
you scared
until-
of ghosts? You wanna know how many hit points this nerd has? 4. He's got 4 hit points. Of
Oh,
course
that
he's
wouldn't
scared
work
of
anyway.
ghosts. So
few hit points.
so few hit points. Yeah.
So few hit points.
Yeah.
When do I have third level? spell?
Jules like, that's so few hit points. I could just.
No.
I don't even have to roll that well.
Hey guys, we got this brand new house. You
Hey,
also
we got
want to own a carpenter's shop?
Literally, I can
Hey,
kill
we got
him
this
in one, I
sweet
can
furniture.
damage.
How are we gonna make furniture if
3,
we kill the
4.
furniture maker?
Don't listen. It's a common Waterdavian phrase, right? It's a story about the man who had the guy, he laid the golden chairs, and then he killed him because he could get something like that. Maybe
Could
the
be
story's
killed.
about a duck.
A
I
4
can't
HP
remember. It
A
doesn't
4
matter.
HP guy could be killed by a lucky rolling house cat.
It's true.
A house cat could kill him.
It must be really, and I think this is actually kind of interesting because of how 8 views humans in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He could, rolling minimum damage, kill any commoner twice over in one swing because he does minimum 8. So he's just got to view people just like
They're just everybody's so fragile.
fragile things.
Yeah.
Fragile and easily crushed. Like I said when we first moved in, there goes the neighborhood. So
Yeah.
if you'd like, in the meantime, between episodes, if you want to like read more about, Volo has more to say about the North Ward where you live. You can learn about the temples and stuff there. I'm definitely gonna do some more research. And if you, Blue Jay, if you want to read about the Time of Troubles in the Forgotten Realms wiki,
that'd be
it basically the book details the kind of rise of Kelemvor and the fall of Bane, Baal, and Merkel. And there's
It'll be it's a tragedy, really.
there's some good stuff in there. I mean, Bane, Baal, and Merkel were dicks to begin with.
They were all.
But Makaria will
super
read it as though it is a
Super dicks.
tragedy.
It was
Bane,
like-
Baal is the Lord of Murder.
Yeah.
Merkel is the Lord of Bones.
Yeah.
And Bane is the Lord of being a lawful evil
Right.
dickhole.
They were basically the three of them. The three of them were they were adventurers, right? They were just shitty, evil adventurers
Yeah.
who got to level 20 and then killed some gods and took their shit.
They became gods, all right.
And then a worse adventurer killed them. So it's just like a whole thing. Anyway,
I mean, Merkel's not dead. He's just in a hat, okay?
yeah,
in a hat.
he is.
I'll find the hat, and then it'll be great.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody. This has been our episode. I will let everybody here tell you where you can find them on the internet when they're not here playing Dungeons and Dragons with me. Let's start with Blue Jay. We'll go around starting on this side. Blue Jay, do it.
Oh, hi. My name is Blue Jay, and yes, I am thirsty for all of the NPCs.
Fucking hell.
It's a lot.
I could see it in your eyes. Every time Adam started describing something, you were just like,
Yep. Yep.
I could see the drool.
Fun. Whatever. I don't care. I
No,
honestly don't
it's
care.
fantastic. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just
But yeah, it's also great because the I guess the like priests of Merkel, like the thing is like if you touch it's spread out that if you touch them you die. So she probably thinks that if people touch her they'll die.
Yeah.
But also
Totally.
yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/bluejay or on Twitter at bluejay_712 where I'm also thirsty. So
Excellent. As a stark contrast, down below, it's 8. The robot man, played by Dave. Definitely a human.
Dave, definitely wait. No, yeah, that was great. Even though I really love the combat of D&D, this was really fun. I loved every second of it. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, everybody, for watching. If you want to find my stuff, you can find me on Twitter at Dave_the_human, or recently, I guess, again on Twitch at Dave_human.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave. Next up, Jewel on the far coast, the Stabby Tabby, Random Tuesday.
The stabby steely tabby.
right.
I stole nothing today. I feel
I'm
like
proud of you.
I'm proud of myself.
And disappointed.
I
But
am proud
proud,
of
but also disappointed. So both.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. You can find me playing lots of other RPGs on the internet, places like Roll for It and Geek Space TV, or you can find me on other places on the internet at Random Tuesday. I have like secured that name in everywhere but
Nicely
Facebook.
done. Nicely done.
Coming
Good
for you,
work.
Facebook.
Excellent. Last but not least, I like that YouTube has already figured out that you're the boss of the party because you're the only one with your head in the right place.
God, I did not plan the
I
character
know.
to be this way. That
It's
was not the
great.
fucking plan.
I like leadership,
Who
Elf.
did you think was going to be the boss if it wasn't you?
I
it's
don't
really
know.
good.
Blue Jay or you.
oh no, I'm the moral compass of the party.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm the one who acquires compasses for the party.
Perfect.
Hello,
Moral
everyone.
compasses. Yeah.
Hello everyone, I am Distracted Elf. You can find me being run down by constant chatter from my teammates at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf, where I actually love them very much and they're all great and it's great. And I'm not actually mad.
Fantastic. Well, this is proving to be quite the adventure. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I'm Adam Coble. I'm the GM in residence for Roll20. You can find me with these fine folks same time next Friday doing the D&D thing. Otherwise, I am at twitch.tv/Adam Coble, where I run other D&D games and other RPGs, and on Twitter at Skinny Ghosts. So that's it for us for this episode. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye, everybody.